Hey guys, it's Michael. Today is your Tuesday, May 5th stimulus check and stimulus package update. We're going to first go over the new stimulus check and new developments there, then into financial and economic news with regards to unemployment and states reopening. Then we're going to get into the PPP and EIDL loan. And lastly, I have very important information for those of you who have not yet received your stimulus check. So if you have not yet received it, make sure you stick around until the end for that. I'm going to be going over non-filers, benefit recipients, and anyone else who has not yet received their stimulus check. Anyways, before we get started, it says that 95% of you watching this video are not subscribed to my channel. So if you'd like to stay up to date on the stimulus checks, on the stock market, on the news, well then please be sure to subscribe to my channel so you can be notified when new videos come out. Anyways, let's get right into it and let's go over the new stimulus check. So yesterday on Monday, the Senate met to discuss the new stimulus package. There weren't many new updates there. The main thing that we know right now is that the Democrats wanted to have additional funding for state and local governments. On the other hand, Republicans want to make sure there are provisions in place to protect small businesses, and they don't want to just give more money to state and local governments. They said we've already given $2.7 trillion, and they want to make sure the money is going to the right place. So as of right now, they haven't agreed on anything with this second stimulus package. However, there are a lot of bills being talked about right now. Some of them are the Automatic Boost to Communities Act, the Rent and Mortgage Cancellation Act, the Patriot Pay Plan, and the Emergency Money for the People Act. Currently, the Emergency Money for the People Act has the most support. It currently has 28 co-sponsors, which is more than any other bill right now. And this is $2,000 a month for anyone who is 16 years of age or older and makes less than $130,000 a year. And in addition to this, you get $500 per month for every child you have. That is the most popular one right now, and the Senate met yesterday, and they're going to be meeting more this week to hopefully discuss this new stimulus package. So I'll let you guys know what goes on there. So anyways, now let's move on to key financial and economic news. Last week on Thursday, unemployment claims came out at 3.8 million new claims. This was down around 600,000 claims from the week before when it was at 4.4 million. However, the total unemployment claims in the US right now is over 30 million, and we're starting to reach levels that were similar to the Great Depression. So hopefully this Thursday, when the new unemployment claims come out, they keep reducing and keep getting less. Also, an important thing to keep an eye out for is the report on Friday. This is the jobs and unemployment report. It comes out on Friday, and this will be for all the data released in April. So this will be your April unemployment report. Moving on, let's talk about states reopening. As we all know, Georgia set to reopen around the 24th. They opened up a little while ago. So now they're starting to come data back on how this is going. So last week on Friday, they said that there were 1,000 cases reported in Georgia on Friday alone, which was a jump from the previous days, according to the Department of Public Health. However, according to the governor of Georgia, he attributed this increase in cases simply that people are getting tested more. He said if more people are getting tested, well then there's going to be more cases. So that was his reasoning for why it increased. However, according to a Forbes article, it says that the risk to exposure for coronavirus in Georgia has increased by 40%. I mean, that makes sense considering more people are going out and people are able to do things that they would normally do. So it makes sense that the risk for exposure would increase. But as of right now, one-day data and the data we have isn't enough because of the 14-day incubation period of the coronavirus. So I'll keep you updated on that, because after 14 days, 2 weeks, then we'll really be able to see the effects of Georgia opening up so soon, and if it was a good decision or if it was a mistake. So we'll keep you updated on that as well. So now let's get into the PPP and EIDL program. So right now, the PPP has currently given out $175 billion in funding out of its total $310 billion. According to banks and other people in the industry, they've said that they've already run out of the $310 billion based on applications that are currently being processed. So, I mean, if you haven't already applied for the PPP loan, make sure to do that right now, because funding is running out very quickly. Based on the number of applications they have on file and having to process all of those, they've probably already run out of the total $310 billion. On top of this, the EIDL program has exciting news as of yesterday, and that is that the application finally went live and you could go ahead and apply for an EIDL grant. However, the bad news is that this EIDL grant application was only open to people in the agricultural business. If you're not in the agriculture business, you can still apply, but they said that they're only accepting people in the agricultural business because of limited funding. So hopefully they get more funding into this program so then there could be more money for small businesses. Anyways, let's get into the important information now with the first stimulus checks. I know that a lot of you guys are very worried and are very concerned concerned that you will never get your stimulus check because you're seeing all the people around you get their stimulus checks, but you feel like you're the only one not getting it. So you're worried it may never come. So I'm going to get into a couple of questions that you guys have been asking, and then at the very end I have an important date for anyone who has not yet received their stimulus checks, and it's on benefits that you need to know. So stick around for that. Anyways, let's get right into it and let's answer some questions. So one of the questions I've been seeing a lot is that if you receive too little, and let's say you didn't get the $500 for your dependent, what can you do? So according to the IRS, they said unfortunately, for people who didn't receive the full payment, they're gonna have to wait till next year when they file their taxes, and there's nothing else they could do. So there's nothing right now. I know a lot of you are saying, well, I don't normally file my taxes. Well, as of right now, the IRS doesn't have any way for you to solve this issue. However, there may be one solution, which is when the IRS sends you a letter in the mail 15 days after receiving your stimulus check, it's going to explain how to report any errors. And in this letter, you may be able to report the error if you didn't get, let's say, the $500 for your dependent, or you got the wrong amount. So that is a good option, as that is something you can do. So keep an eye out for that letter, because it's supposed to come within 15 days after you're receiving your stimulus check, and you can report any errors. It'll say where the money went to, how much, so you'll be able to report everything there. Moving on, let's go into direct deposit. So if you're scheduled to receive a check in the mail, well then you cannot go ahead and upload your direct deposit information. However, if you're not already scheduled, you can go ahead, use the Get My Payment tool, and put in your direct deposit information so you can receive your stimulus check quicker. The way this works is as long as you input it on a Tuesday before noon, it will update in the system on that following Saturday. If you do it after Tuesday at noon, well then you're gonna have to wait 11 days for the next Saturday for the system to update. So if you have not already done that, go ahead and make sure to use the Get My Payment tool to upload your bank account information, because receiving it via direct deposit will be faster than getting a check in the mail. Let's go on now to when you can expect to receive your stimulus check in the mail and what's going on with paper stimulus checks right now. So according to the IRS, if you see that your check was already mailed out, just know that it could take 14 days. And then the important news with this is that May 8th, so in a couple of days, they'll be starting to send out the $30,000 level of income stimulus checks or less. But remember, it takes 14 days, so it's going to take a while from when they actually send it out. So don't expect it right away. But I don't know why they say it's 14 days, but according to the IRS, that's standard mailing time. So moving on, let's talk about non-filers. With non-filers right now, there is no new updates for non-filers. The updates are is that once you upload your information into the non-filers tool, as soon as it is processed, well then the IRS will go ahead and either send you direct deposit or send you a paper check in the mail, however you have that set up. And the good news is if you're a non-filer, when they're sending out paper stimulus checks, you'll be sent out first, because once your information is processed, they're going to start sending those out to you. However, if you have not yet gotten your stimulus check and you're a non-filer, that simply means that they have not yet processed your information. Because if they had, you would have been in that first round of stimulus checks to go out in the mail, and you also would have already received it via direct deposit. So if you have not gotten it yet, don't worry. It's just because they have not yet processed your information. Moving on, let's talk about Social Security disability retirement survivors, as well as railroad retirement benefits. I've been seeing a lot of comments down below that you guys are very frustrated because you had dates of April 29th, April 30th, May 1st in the system, but you didn't get your stimulus check. So what can you do? Well, according to the IRS in the most recent press release that they released on May 1st, it says that they started to send your stimulus checks out last week. That means that they didn't finish sending them all out, and I've been seeing in the comments, thousands of you guys still haven't received it in this group. But according to the IRS, they've only started to send out to this group of people, so they're going to continue to send them out this week and the weeks to come, so keep an eye out for that. I'm sorry there's not a specific date, but that's the most up-to-date information the IRS is giving us. So moving on, let's talk about those of you who receive SSI and VA benefits. So for those of you who receive SSI and VA benefits and you have a dependent, today was the last day that you could use the non-filers tool to register your dependent. Today is May 5th, and that is the date I've been telling you guys for a while now. But now for anyone who is SSI or VA, whether you have a dependent or you don't have a dependent, according to the IRS, there's no new updates on the timeline, but the timeline is that you should expect to receive your stimulus check as of mid-May. That's what it said in the May 1st press release by the IRS. So I'll go ahead and make sure to link that down below if you want to read more on that. And then finally, I have a quick update and information with Direct Express debit card holders. I'm getting a lot of questions as to when Direct Express debit card holders can expect to receive their stimulus check. People think it's on a different date, but no. when you get your stimulus check, it gets paid the same way as you normally get your benefit payments. So if you get benefit payments via direct deposit or direct express debit card or in the mail, that's going to be how you get your stimulus check. So it doesn't matter if you get direct express or you already got your benefit payments, none of that matters. What matters is what group of benefit recipients you fall into. So if you get payments via direct express, you'll get it the same time as people who do get direct deposit. It's just going to be, it'll be sent to your direct express debit card. Anyways, I hope this answered some of your questions today. Please be sure to leave any questions you have down below in the comments. Don't forget to check out our links down below and join our Power of Finance Investors group, as well as our Discord group community chat. Also, get your 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 when you sign up for the Webull investing app. 1 free stock when you sign up for Robinhood. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video down below, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.